So I was in the city of McNess for 2.5 months. That's where the institute was based out of. So this is a botanical gardens that they have there on their campus. And when I got there, this was just plastic and dirt. And so we brought in rock and we planted some cactuses and some different things that would grow there. But this is just one small part of it. That's just that part of the garden. I did the whole landscape design plan for the whole garden. So it's a pretty big area. It's probably, I'd guess, maybe 2 acres, something like that. So we actually grew like rosemary and lavender and chamomile and all these different herbs and medicinal plants in the botanical garden. That's what it was a medicinal plant botanical garden. And then we would take them to the lab and then we would extract the essential oils out of there. Then after that, my project was to look at blueberry, blackberry, and raspberry cultivation in Morocco. And so what that involved was touring a lot of farms and a lot of experiment farms in Morocco in different regions because they were trying to find the right region to grow these berries based on the time of year that they were going to sell them to the international market. And so we would tour different berry farms and would see how they were growing them. I mean, they were growing blueberries in greenhouses. I would never thought, why would you do that? But they had these huge operations where they're growing blueberries and blackberries and raspberries in these giant greenhouses. So that was one facet of that research. The second facet involved the actual business aspect. Because I'm agribusiness, I don't just care about how you grow stuff. And it's like, how are we going to sell it and who are we going to sell it to is the next aspect. And so what we did is we would use data analysis to look at the different trade markets throughout the world, and we figured out who's producing blueberries, what time of year that they're producing those blueberries, and who are they exporting those blueberries to. And so we looked at the feasibility of growing blueberries in Morocco and then exporting to the United States, to Europe, to the Middle East, and to Southeast Asia. I literally got the opportunity to travel all over Morocco. I was working with 3 faculty members there, and pretty much the unwritten agreement amongst them was if anyone goes anywhere to check on a project or go on vacation or go to visit a family member, take the American guy, Chris, with you. So they would take me, up to the mountains to visit their families in the weekends. One time we did this long road trip out to the Sahara Desert. Faculty member had some family members that lived down in that area, so we went all the way down there. We got to do a tour and see some experiments they were doing at a date palm plantation. So while I was there, it was Ramadan, which is the Muslim month of fasting. So you don't eat during the day, and so this was the first meal we had that we actually got to eat breakfast. Because normally you have a big meal at night and then you stop eating or drinking anything after 3 o'clock in the morning. And then you can't have anything to eat until about 7:30, 7:45 at night when the sun goes down. It's called a jalaba. I bought it at one of the old markets in Fez. Yeah, it's the most comfortable thing I own. I wear it around the house all the time. If you're going to be in agriculture, if you're going to be in like food science, or especially if you're going to be in agribusiness, I would absolutely, it almost should be a requirement. Because you could stay in the United States and just do agriculture and just work in your field, but the potential and the opportunity is much greater outside of the United States, and the opportunity to contribute and to really make a difference is outside of the United States. If you can take what you learn here and you can apply that to a developing economy and like a third world type situation, then you're going to come into that with the knowledge and some of the resources to actually make a substantial change to their economy and how they live. So the International Ag Certificate, I learned so much about myself living in a Muslim country for 2.5 months that I'd never expected. I lived in Europe before for 7 months, but I learned a lot more about myself being in a Muslim country for 2.5 months. And it was, it's a completely different culture from ours. Everyone goes out and has a beer after work here, whereas everyone there, they just go out and have coffee and they sit around and talk until 12 o'clock at night. So it was really, really interesting to experience all of that firsthand.